and murder. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
And I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
If you need help at home or at the office, call Made For You. Made For You is a locally owned, bonded, and licensed cleaning service with over 20 years of experience. All employees are vetted for your protection. No need to buy products or expensive equipment. The Made For You staff comes complete with everything needed to make your home or office cleaner than ever. Hire Made For You one time, as needed, or on an ongoing basis. No room is off limits. Laundry and ironing services are also available. Call Made For You for a free estimate today. 255-2922. That's 255-2922.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCV may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call The Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayoutrrecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today.
Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Mostly sunny today with highs in the upper 90s, overnight lows in the low 70s. Tomorrow, more of the same. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com or find us on social media at KHTS Radio.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Good morning and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care, Advanced Audiology, and Santa Clarita Hearing Center. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host Dr. Jean Dorio on your hometown station 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And speaking of quality of life, our one and only esteemed chiropractor, Dr. Thomas Palacki, is here. How are you doing this morning?
It's good. Good to be back. Thank you, Barbara.
Yes. Good to have you. So, what's on the agenda for today?
Well, you were talking about your frustration with, what's going on with all of this. So I'd like to, talk about that a little bit, and then more importantly, talk about what is really important. And I think it's going to be an interesting show today about what people really need to hear over these next several months, because, people are kind of fed up with this whole thing.
Oh, you aren't kidding.
And it's pointless. It's hater bait, even to mention certain things. But that's all Facebook is anymore. It's a very toxic environment. I'm not one to watch the news and scream at it. I don't even go on Facebook anymore. It's just too toxic, and everybody's screaming at everybody, no matter what opinion they might have about things. And everybody's just trying to bash and become experts on their belief system. Nobody's going to change anybody's belief system. It just doesn't work like that. So instead, I'd like to spend the next, whatever this is, 45 minutes or so, imparting some useful information instead of just more hateful toxicity about politics or the restrictions on our freedoms or anything like that. Instead, how about we spend some time on some useful information for a change? I believe that's what the power of media really is, instead of just spreading more hate and toxicity. How's that?
That's good. Well, you know, my feeling is if I'm going to get this disease, I'm going to get it.
Yep.
I mean, if it's going to be in the cards, it'll be in the cards. I totally believe that. Right now, I'm in good health. I plan to stay in good health, and I'm not planning to get this idiot disease.
Well, that's what we're going to focus on absolutely today, about the importance of staying in good health, because everything that's in the media has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's about hiding, trying to delay the spread, which is a fairly, I don't know, maybe not the best strategy. I know I'm going to get hate on that just because, you know, I'm not what most people consider a real doctor, like Dr. Fauci, who is the you know, on Mount Olympus as far as most people are concerned. But the reality is this whole strategy that we've had for the past 6 months has nothing to do with stopping or ending the virus. It's just about slowing the spread, which may not be a great strategy. I mean, it may be a little bit easier on certain emergency wards in certain hospitals, but that's the extent of it. Everybody else is suffering for that one particular niche that I don't believe it's the greatest strategy, and I know I'm going to catch hate for that, but I don't care. And I believe most people don't care anymore. They're just having to play by rules that they don't understand, they don't agree with, and it's hurting just about everyone. Just about everyone.
That's right. Well, no, have you been reading the newspapers? The hospitals have geared up with all these ventilators, all of these PPE suits, and they're not being used.
No.
There's no need for them.
I really don't even pay attention anymore. After about the second month of this, when it was critical to stay on top of this, because it was in the early stages of this, you needed to know what was going on and who was being affected. But now I just don't. I can't watch anymore. It's just so insane.
I've been watching movies.
Yeah.
Netflix movies.
Yeah, I'm just about through Netflix. Like, I don't think there's anything left in Netflix. We're watching things that are like 1 stars. Like, why do they even post 1-star movies? They're like, nobody likes this, but here, watch it anyway. I'm like, yeah, now I know.
Anything good out there?
So, okay. Gene is with us, I believe. So put your earbuds on. Hello, Dr. Doria.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, I'm here. I'm hearing the conversation, and yes, I think after a while, Netflix gets real old real fast. 1 star is out there now, even a half a star.
That's all that's left. And the problem is very few people are in production, so there's no new stuff out there.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
There is reading, and there is communications through. You can learn about life by reading books online. I mean, there's so many things that one can utilize their time for that I think can still make life better for oneself, and in addition to that, make life better for those in the community. So we had a city council meeting last night, and people were able to call in and give their public comment. People can still read our local newspaper and send in letters. A lot of people writing letters to the editor with their opinions. I think it's important that we maintain our understanding of life around us and the things that we can do during this time that can be helpful to not just ourselves but others. So I'm pretty optimistic about spending time wisely and making sure that the people around us are doing okay, especially older adults, those seniors who might have food insecurities, those who might be threatened with a loss of their home or foreclosures or being booted out from their apartment. So there are battles still to fight, and I know that we can spend our time doing that still, and not let this pandemic get in our way.
Absolutely. You brought up a couple of key points. So last night, the rent protection thing got taken off of the just pass it through list. So I found out about that. So it is not in act. So rent protection is not enforced anymore.
Yeah. And so, is that good or bad? Well, it just depends. I don't want to certainly see people out on the street. And of course, if they're seniors, that's going to happen. But if you drive around Santa Clarita, and I was down in the valley, I'm sorry, but there were people's furniture out on the street, mattresses, dresser drawers, and I just feel bad that this is happening to people at a time where it's no one's fault, but it is something that is threatening everybody else and affecting the masses, and because it is, we got to cope with it. But we need to allow. Go ahead.
If the government, whether it be local government, state, federal government, is going to impose restrictions on people's livelihoods, then they have to be there to support the consequences. I'm not saying there is a right or a wrong way to handle this thing. History will judge that. What the issue is that if you're going to take away people's income, you have to be prepared to deal with the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
absolutely.
I guess.
But you saw what happened when we tried to open up again after, I guess it was Memorial Day, and then everything got shut down the 4th of July. Statistics are revealing that things seem to be a little bit better. And I don't think that in our country we are reinventing the wheel on any of this. Other countries have already gone through it, and I like to look at what these countries have done to get their statistics better. But not only that, getting back to normal and getting rid of the threat to our seniors. So I'm looking forward that we will do the right things, but we will look at the examples that are out there, and that will help us get our life in a normal way again. But I'm still kind of waiting for that because I don't see that happening.
Well, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening anytime in the future. Actually, I don't think that November or January, whatever people think is going to magically happen, no matter who's elected, is going to change anything. This is not a political thing, although it is highly politically polarizing. The reality is that people don't want to accept responsibility for their own health. They want to have the government protect them in one way or another, whether it be with a vaccine or whether it be with a lockdown or whether it be with restrictions or in laws that enforce wearing masks or anything like that. And the reality is that health has never been the government's responsibility. It's the person's responsibility, and that's what I'd really like to focus on in this show. What can you do to be as healthy as possible? Because we don't know. Obviously there are proponents out there saying that the vaccine is going to make everything safe and normal again. That's an absolute absurd statement, and anybody buying into that just is not a student of history. We've had vaccines for they were experimenting with vaccines in the Revolutionary War when there was a chickenpox epidemic, a smallpox epidemic. And I mean, so it's been with us for hundreds of years and very, very structured and systematized for at least the past 50. And there's still a lot of problems. There's still a lot of inconsistency. It's not as generally safe and effective as it's promoted. Like, oh, there's no question about this. The science has spoken. That's just not the fact. There are issues, even with things that we've had hundreds of years of practice with. And this new one, this RNA vaccine, nobody has ever attempted this before, and they're expect to whip something into shape in a couple of months. It's insanity to say that this is going to make everything safe and normal again. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Nothing is safe and normal on the whole.
You're absolutely right.
Nothing is safe and normal, you know? But that's life. I mean, you can walk across the street and get hit by a car. I mean, that's not safe and normal.
Actually, death on our public roads is a much bigger danger than COVID could ever be.
Absolutely it is.
But nobody talks about that.
No.
Nobody's talking about, oh, nobody can drive. Nobody can drive from now on until we get a vaccine for bad drivers. I mean, it's ridiculous. The strategy is not working. I mean, there are some to say that, oh, we have slowed this. We're still dealing with this. This is 6 months into this pandemic now, and people are losing their houses. People are losing their marriages. People are losing their sanity. And expecting that if we get a new president, or if the existing president is reelected, or if a vaccine comes out, that everything is going to change.
It's not.
No, it already has. The problem is we surrendered our freedom on day one. And people expect everything to go back to normal, but it's not going to.
Well, you know, I take good care of myself. I eat healthy. I exercise. I walk every day. And if I don't walk, I get on that monstrous bicycle in my music room, and I'll pedal that for 30 minutes. But, you know, as long as you take care of yourself and be aware of your surroundings, who you're with, and don't just willy-nilly do stupid things, you're going to be all right.
Well, maybe not, but that's the chance you take every day.
Absolutely, every single day.
Exactly, and there are things that are much more risky, much more dangerous than COVID ever could be.
I mean, going to the beach and getting caught up in the water, that's even more dangerous.
Is it? I don't have stats on that.
No.
But I do know that.
But you see it.
You know, I do know that car accidents kills more people.
It's terrible. It really is.
And people hate this analogy, because they are different. But the typical flu is more fatal than this is, percentage-wise.
Well, look at the Asian flu. I mean,
just 2 years ago, just a couple years ago, we had a very, very bad flu that the CDC came right out and said, you know, oh, the vaccine just doesn't seem to make that much of a difference on this one. This is a bad one. This isn't ancient history. This is 2 years ago.
No, it was a little over 2 years ago because I got that flu.
Yeah.
And I'm still here. You know,
well, you take care of yourself, and that's what I want to focus on. I don't want to be hater bait. You know, I mean, I'm sure we're already going to catch a lot of flack for what we've already said. That's not the point. The point is, you take responsibility for your health. You've been through cancer. You've been through chemo. Accidents. You've been through car accidents. You know, very serious car accidents. Yes. I don't want to get too much into that. No. You can talk about it as much as you like, but you have a strategy, and it works. It works for you, but you're not the typical person. The typical person is just, I don't want to be responsible for any of my actions. I want to eat whatever I want to. I don't want to have to bother myself with exercise. I don't want to have to bother myself with choosing what I put in my mouth, or how I spend my time, or what what influences me as far as media is concerned, and then I just want to go out there and blast anybody who doesn't agree with my belief system.
No, that's not my right, and that's nobody's right to criticize other people.
Well, maybe you should be in charge of Facebook.
I don't even go on Facebook.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's the only time I'll go on it is if someone sends me an email saying that, hey, check out so and such and such on Facebook,
right.
and I'll open that email and it'll take me to Facebook. But otherwise, I don't go on it. To me, it's a waste of time. I've got better things to do. In fact, I'm on my 40th jigsaw puzzle.
Oh.
I have a girlfriend, she and I trade.
There you go.
And I went to Assistance League resale shop and I bought 10 new puzzles.
So I love it because that really is a great brain exercise.
Yes, it is.
But in caution, you're leaning forward over that thing for way too long. So
no, I'm not.
Hey,
no,
let's hear it.
I have a card table in my living room in front of my easy chair, and I have a great big picture frame that I've turned upside down, and I have 2 boxes that put the puzzle up so that I can sit there.
Nice.
And do the puzzle and not worry about having to lean over and break my back. But I only use 300 and 500 piece ones.
Okay, so do me a favor and take a picture of that because I want to send that to my mom because she loves jigsaws, and I can see her stooping over that thing for hours at a time, and it's just horrible. It
isn't necessary.
No.
You don't have to. That's why I don't do 1,000.
Right.
Because if I did that, I'd have to go onto my kitchen, my dining room table, which would mean I'd have to lean over and bend over the whole time.
Yeah.
This way, my card table and my picture are slanted so that
like
I
an
can
artist
sit.
easel.
Yes,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Exactly it. Yeah,
Love
I'll
it.
take a picture of it.
Yeah, please.
I will. But that's what I do. And I think it's time to take a break, isn't it? Old Evil Eye over there looking at us. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
Your business sign is essential to getting customers to your location. Feathers can help you get your business noticed. Feathers, now in a new, larger space with plenty of parking. They walk you through each phase of your project with special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will provide you a sign that you can be proud of. Your sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Visit Feathers online at feathersigns.com or go to Feathers' brand new bigger location at 26017 Huntington Drive off Rye Canyon or call 298-9442.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS or call 800-973-3927 and use the promo code KHTS. That's 800-973-3927 or mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS.
Olive Terrace Bar and Grill is the hottest new Mediterranean fusion restaurant in Santa Clarita with unique delicacies like seafood right off the boat, mouth-watering prime steaks, artesian sandwiches, delicious pastas, and tasty kebabs. Unwind on their cozy outdoor patio at their weekend champagne brunch, full menu, and weekly specials at oliveterracebarandgrill.com. Check out their full bar and happy hour daily specials in Valencia on Copper Hill and Newhall Ranch Road by LA Fitness. Olive Terrace Bar and Grill, delicious food seasoned with love.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com. Located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
Social distancing slows the spread of coronavirus, so we should all stay home to lower the risk for everyone. More info at coronavirus.gov. Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Your hometown station.
Our news team at KHTS is constantly working to keep you informed. If you want the latest and greatest information on the Santa Clarita Valley, just sign up for the KHTS newsletter. SCV News delivered directly to your email inbox every weekday by 5 p.m. and a special weekend edition on Sundays. All it takes is an email address and you're set. Go to hometownstation.com to register.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Consumers Furniture is back open for your business. The safety of our community and our staff, above all, is most important to us. We will provide a safe and clean environment for you to find the perfect piece of furniture for your home. To help you with your purchase, we are offering 25% off your entire order or 24 months same as cash financing. And for our awesome essential workers, we will deliver locally your furniture free of charge. Consumers Furniture is located in the Center Point Shopping Center, below Sam's Club and Walmart.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
We salute our veterans who sacrificed for our freedom.
Santa Clarita veteran Bill Reynolds.
Each week, we share an inspirational story of a local veteran on our Hometown Heroes page at hometownstation.com. Thanks to our good friends at Eternal Valley.
I'm Richard Nunnally, General Manager of Eternal Valley Memorial Park and Mortuary. We believe taking care of each other is what community is all about. We're proud to bring you the stories of our hometown heroes.
Eternal Valley, life well celebrated.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And we're speaking with the one and only Dr. Thomas Balucki, and we're talking about nutrition.
Yeah, well, that's one that's a piece of the puzzle. So we've been talking about jigsaw puzzles over the break. I know, Gene, you couldn't hear us, Dr. Dorio, but Barbara's gone jigsaw crazy. She's got 40 puzzles completed so far. She's out of control.
No, I'm on my 40th.
Okay.
This is my 40th.
All right. So anyway, so it's a piece.
Them or you break them up?
Do what?
Do you save them or do you break them up after you're done?
No, I break them up after I take pictures of them, and then I put them back in the box, and Cheryl Gray and Suzanne Stone and I are trading back and forth. And when I went to the Assistance League last week, they had a bunch of puzzles there, and I bought 10 more. So I've got plenty to do, but it's a fun thing to do. It really is. You know?
Keeps you busy, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, it's better than sitting in front of a television.
Yes, you aren't kidding.
Or a computer screen for most applications. So, as I said, it's a piece of the puzzle. Nutrition's important. Some people aren't going to get enough of what they need from nutrition alone, but nutrition's always a great start. Hydration's important, exercise is important, posture is important. We were talking about the jigsaw puzzles, and you've come up with a pretty ingenious plan not to lean over them so much, which will cause a lot of people some problems. But getting up and moving is critically important, even for people who are restricted to a wheelchair or have neuropathy or have bad arthritis. Movement is critically important, more so even for them. It's just you have to get creative of how you are able to move. Like, not everybody has the freedoms that we take for granted. Not everybody can just get up and go out for a walk.
That's very true.
Or
very true.
Or a swim or a bike ride or something. So you have to start getting a little creative on how you're going to get some movement in your life, because otherwise we're made to move. And things start to break down. When the less you move, the more problems you're going to have, plain and simple.
Absolutely. I mean, if you do nothing but sit and then you try to get up, ooh,
yeah,
this hurts,
yeah,
that hurts. You strain your muscles, and to keep from doing that, you have to get up and move constantly.
Yep.
You really do. It's critical that you do that.
It's quite amazing how powerful a medicine movement really is. I mean, it's the basis for things like Tai Chi, things like yoga, things longevity type exercises that have been practiced for thousands of years around the world that seem to have some pretty good scientific validity now. The more that Western medicine studies these things, the more that it really finds that, wow, they really kind of know something about this. And it goes back thousands of years. When Hippocrates was founding his principles, he was much more like Eastern medicine than what we now consider Western medicine. His whole thing was about movement and nutrition and hydration and hygiene and all of those things that we now are in this culture just rediscovering and considering, oh, well, is this real science or not? And it has been science for millennia.
You know, it's interesting. Every morning I'll get my cup of coffee and my piece of toast, and Ginger and I will sit in the backyard. Ginger's my kitty. She sits in the chair right next to me, and which I have a chair that is an easy chair. So what I do is I'll sit in that chair and move my feet back and forth because I'm trying to avoid the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes are terrible out there.
Yeah.
But they don't bug me because I'm not still long enough for them to bite me.
There you go.
And Ginger, I scared the daylights out of her the first couple of times. She jumped down to the sidewalk and went back into the house. Like, Mother, what are you doing? You know. Now she's used to it. She just sits there and watches me.
Right.
But my legs are moving back and forth, even though I'm sitting in an easy chair.
Sure. That's a great option for some people. And even if you can't do that, because that may be too much for some people, there's something to be said. So when we first are born, you know, we don't have a whole lot of mobility, but one of the first things that we learn how to do is crawl. And even before we have the strength or the musculature to crawl, we're doing that movement. We're doing that movement. We're moving opposites, like side opposite, arm, hand. I mean, hand and foot. Like crawling. If you see a baby crawling, you know, crossing and crawling. This is how our body is designed to learn and heal. So whenever there's a serious neurological injury or any kind of physical injury that's going to require some neurological rehabilitation, you can put a person into a crawling mode. And even if that means that all they can do is move their fingertips and their toe tips, they're going to get some benefit from that. Because if you are able to make a gentle fist and then splay your fingers out as far as they can and do the same movement with your toes, you're getting a huge benefit from it, not just in circulation, but in neurology and triggering all of the healing responses throughout the entire body. So people who are literally stuck, and if they do have the ability to move their fingertips and their toes, they can get benefits from exercise.
Well, you know, it's interesting. When Russ was on the walker, I would have him get on the floor and crawl, and that was good exercise for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd crawl all over the living room, down the hallway, and around. And that was one thing that kept him moving, because when he would get up and walk, it was a staggering type of walk, and there was too much danger of him falling.
Sure.
But, which he did anyway, but the crawling, it really helped. It kept him mobile.
It's good exercise. If you look at some of the more advanced training for elite athletes, you'll see that movement. You'll see that movement all over the place. Balancing on one foot and opposites, and doing different things with your hands and feet simultaneously. It's all good.
That's
all
true.
Good. So that's critically important. We don't. Last week was brutal as far as the heat. So normally we'd be talking about hydration, but so few people are even going out anymore that it kind of gets put on the back burner. But hydration is critically important, whether you're going out in the heat or not. Because if you're not going out in the heat, you're probably sitting in an air-conditioned climate, and the way that air conditioning works, besides dropping the temperature, is pulling moisture out of the air. So you're dehydrating even if you're just sitting there in an air-conditioned room.
I keep a glass of water beside me.
Always.
No matter
I never
where I
see
go.
you without water, which is part of your success story.
No, I love water. I drink more water than anything else. I have a cup of coffee in the morning and water all day long and a glass of wine for dinner at night.
There you go.
And that's my liquid.
Sounds like a plan.
No, I won't give up my glass of wine with dinner. No. I enjoy
don't
that.
You think, though, that some of what we're talking about also leads to nutrition that we were talking about earlier? Because there are some that they're not only not getting the exercise that they should be getting, but they're not going out and they're not buying food. They're not going to the grocery store. They're not picking up fast food or any kind of food. So nutrition has become a factor now, health factor, in many of our seniors' lives. And we really have to make them aware because, like you said, Dr. Pilecki, this week is it's cooler than last week, and hydration people kind of know about. But now we have to focus on nutrition for our seniors and making sure they understand that if they're not getting out, doing the exercise that we're talking about, but not also getting the appropriate nutrition, in the long run, their immune system and everything else will make them susceptible to many other things other than COVID-19.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, in a perfect world, people are going to prepare their own food from scratch. Like some of this audience absolutely has never given up, but the cost of convenience is measured in nutritional value. So the more convenient something is, the less nutritional value it typically has. Fast food is not a great option, and I'd like to say, I like the phrase COVID silver lining. Like, so much has been condensed into the past 6 months that we're able to see trends that normally would take decades. We're seeing play out within months as far as a lot of different things are concerned. So many of my friends that were absolutely hardcore nutrition and exercise and all of those things in the past 6 months have just thrown out all of their healthy habits and are paying for it in much larger waistlines. We joke when we see, it's Corona gut. Like so many people that I know have just been beaten down by this, not being able to stick with their programs for whatever reason. There are several reasons. One is the gyms are closed. Another is for a while there it was difficult to get food, real food at all. But there's more to it than that. There's the psychological impact of being restricted on where you can go, when you can go, how you can go, all of these things that are affecting so many people that you wouldn't expect to. But it shows up when you meet them and you see them, and people who were in really good shape at any age all of a sudden don't look so great, and you're like, what? Well, everybody has I don't want to say everybody, but most of the people I know have put on at least 10 pounds, if not 20 pounds in the past 6 months.
Well, there's, even if people haven't been able to go to the gym, what's wrong with going outside and walking?
Well,
I mean, you can walk early morning or you can walk late evening. You don't have to walk in the middle of the day.
Right.
And what's wrong with walking? That's good exercise.
It's great exercise.
It's better than nothing.
Absolutely. And you can make walking more effective. Those who have the ability to walk, walking is powerful medicine. It's probably we are some of the most efficient walkers on the planet. We walk better than dogs do. Believe it or not, we are mechanically more efficient at walking than dogs are, even though they have twice the advantage we do. We do a better job at it. To make walking a more serious exercise, like just a leisurely stroll, you get some benefit from. Walking so that you break a sweat, you get a lot more benefit from.
Oh, absolutely.
If you break a sweat walking for 20 minutes, it has been shown to reduce the risk of most types of cancer. So that's one thing. But you want to get a gym quality workout from walking, all you need to do, if you're able to do this, is open your stride. Like take a deeper step. Take 1 foot. And when I say foot, I mean your foot, not a ruler.
Extend it.
Take 1 foot further than you normally do and walk around the block. You'll see what I mean by that real quick.
Well, it's interesting because where I live, it's all uphill.
Both ways?
Yeah, everywhere.
What goes up, what comes down?
Well, yeah, I do eventually come down, but most of
snow?
it is, yeah.
Did you walk uphill in the snow both ways?
Walk backwards.
Well, walking backwards is a challenge too.
I don't recommend that for the senior community.
I agree with you. But walking up hills, and that's all I have in my housing tract. Of course, you have to come back down sooner or later.
Yeah.
But yes, I've walked up and over and gone over the freeway and walked around in Target up there, because I live across from the Target store up there off Golden Valley. But that's quite a walk because it's all uphill. It's nice coming down.
Right.
But that's still good exercise because you still have to walk.
Oh yeah, people think that walking downhill is an exercise. It is. It's just different. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You use different areas of your legs and your arms and your whole body.
But the key for people who are able to walk, the key is to maintain your posture while you're walking. Drop your shoulders down and back. A lot of people, as soon as they start feeling any fatigue at all, will start hiking their shoulders up and start chest breathing and start taking shorter breaths up high in their chest, and that triggers the stress response, which wears you out quickly because you're not oxygenating, you're not circulating, and you're triggering the emergency response in your brain. The key to having more energy for longer, more endurance, is to drop your shoulders down and back. As soon as you start feeling I'm not getting enough air, you drop your shoulders down and back and start trying to really focus on breathing below your rib cage.
That's interesting because usually when I get to that point, I stop. I'll stop and stand there for a few minutes until I feel like, okay, let's go again.
Yeah, but see, nobody except me in the studio can see what you just did. When you took that deep breath, everything was raised up. You were raising your shoulders, you were raising your rib cage. All that is stress breathing. And people think that, well, you're stressed, just breathe deeply, but they're breathing in a way that actually makes more stress in their body than less stress. So that was the point I was trying to make, and we'll get back into it in the last segment of the show. We just have a few minutes, but this may be the most critical point that we're going to make on this show today when we get back from the break.
Okay, terrific. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
If you're tired of your nail polish chipping a day or two after an expensive manicure, then you'll love the gel nail polish manicure now offered by Anne. Anne is a licensed manicurist serving the Santa Clarita Valley in Canyon Country for over 15 years. And now she's offering the gel manicure that lasts without chipping for up to 2 weeks. Log on to hometownstation.com for details on how to get an amazing deal on gel nails by Anne on Restaurant Row, or call Anne at 250-8340.
This is Jill from the Santa Clarita Grocery, the all-volunteer grocery program serving children, families, and individuals experiencing food insecurities. Since January 2020, Santa Clarita Grocery has distributed 83 tons of fresh groceries to our 4,655 families in the SCV community. Santa Clarita Grocery is a drive-up, drive-through service with physical distancing in place to continue serving our community. If you are in need or looking for a charity to do the most good for our community, please consider partnering with us by donating to Santa Clarita Grocery, one of the most efficient charities in the Santa Clarita Valley. A full 99 cents out of every dollar goes directly back to the community. Santa Clarita Grocery operates on a 1% overhead and is sustained through private donations. Santa Clarita Grocery is at 21176 Center Point Parkway in the Oasis Furniture parking lot. Please visit our website at santaclaritagrocery.org or our Facebook at Santa Clarita Grocery to make a difference in our awesome town community. 425-7575. Be our guest and experience the difference.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS, or call 800-973-3927 and use the promo code KHTS. That's 800-973-3927 or mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to santaclaritahearingcenter.com. Located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's santaclaritahearingcenter.com.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And we're speaking with Dr. Thomas Palucki, who is a local chiropractor, and we were talking about breathing.
Yeah, so right before the break, we were talking about when you walk too much, you like to take a little break and catch your breath. And then when you said that, you mime doing it, and you did it again.
Yes.
So the people in the studio can't, I mean, anybody outside of the studio can't see what you're doing, doing, but you do what most people do when they try to take a deep breath, and that's they raise their shoulders and their chest heaves up and forward when they do that. This is accessory breathing. These are engaging the emergency breathing mode that we have. When you can't fill your lungs enough, you can heave the chest to get a little bit extra in there. However, it's very inefficient. That's taking into consideration that you're already dropping the diaphragm as much as possible and you can't get enough air. If people can just shift to dropping that diaphragm down, they're going to get air deep into their lungs, which is where most of the best efficiency of the lungs happens, without stressing the neck muscles, without trying to engage pulling the chest cage up with neck muscles, which is a very bad strategy, and it actually triggers all the emergency chemicals in the brain to flood the system. So it's this compounding effect of, I can't breathe, and then you get into the panic mode and you're not circulating, and it is just a downhill problem from there. However, if as soon as you start feeling short of breath, you start really focusing on dropping that diaphragm down by belly breathing, and we all do it as babies, but we tend to forget it as adults. Without moving your chest at all is the best way to most efficiently breathe and trigger the relaxation and healing response in the brain.
You know, it was interesting.
And so we talked about
Go ahead, Jay.
the COVID silver lining that earlier. And one of the negative parts about it is we have to wear masks. And as we wear masks, we feel claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a negative thing that is happening now, because when we go out and exercise, sometimes there's people around us and we have to wear a mask. And so it is kind of detrimental to our usual exercise routine. What do you think, Barbara?
Well, I don't wear a mask when I walk, and if I see someone on the sidewalk, I will walk out in the street and around them so that I don't get near them.
Well, great information, Dr. Thomas Pilecki, and we'd like to get your phone number so that our listeners can, give you a jingle if, they want to learn more about breathing.
661-753-9340.
Great. Well, I appreciate your once again being on the show again today, enlightening us about not just COVID, but how to survive during this pandemic. Thank you for being on the show again, Barbara. Thank you for everything you've done. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care, Advanced Audiology, and Santa Clarita Hearing Center. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality.